Today, we're looking closely at just one source. It's called a chapter, not the book.
Mm.
And the topic is really centered on a very personal story, about relationships, how they can end unexpectedly, and what we learn from these big moments that shape us.
Right. And our mission really is to unpack this story of Ryan and Mia. See how they went from, well, connecting to separating and what Ryan took away from it all afterwards.
So let's start with Ryan. The source introduces him as 29 years old, living in Denver.
Yeah, it paints him as someone pretty uh, grounded,
Yeah.
structured life, good job. Seemed like he had a clear path.
He had it all figured out, sort of. And then, bam, he meets Mia.
In a coffee shop, wasn't it? Reading Atomic Habits, apparently.
In the detail, yeah. And things just took off. Really fast connection.
So fast that she moved in pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
The source talks about, like, her clothes, her toothbrush,
Mm-hmm.
her stuff, making his apartment feel different.
Like a home. It says it felt like home for the first time with her there, which says a lot about how deep that initial bond felt, right?
Definitely. And Ryan was all in. The source makes it clear he was supporting her financially, helping with rent, bought her a laptop, paid for some online courses.
Because her freelance work was unstable.
Exactly. And he just believed, love means support, you help your partner.
A straightforward way of looking at it. But then things took a turn.
Yeah, here's the pivot point in the narrative. Ryan has this failed investment, a big financial hit.
Okay.
And for the first time, he needs help. He asks Mia if she can cover just 1 month's rent.
Just 1 month. And her response.
Well, according to the source, she couldn't or wouldn't. Gave excuses, sick mom, car trouble, stress from work.
Right. But the key thing Ryan noticed, the source points out, was it felt like she was worried about her problems, not their problems, not us.
That's a crucial observation, isn't it?
Yeah.
What happens to the we when the me takes over, especially during a tough time?
Yeah. And things changed after that conversation. The source describes Mia becoming distant, silent for days, then coming back, but just cold, off.
Something was clearly wrong.
And then he got his answer. He actually saw her getting into like a fancy black car with another guy, and later overheard her on the phone, whispering sweet nothings. So yeah, no doubt anymore.
So the confrontation, the breakup talk.
Yeah.
How did that go down, according to the source?
Well, she didn't deny it when he brought it up.
Okay.
But her reasons, this is where it gets really interesting and kind of confusing. She said she felt too safe with Ryan.
Too safe.
Yeah, and that she'd sort of lost herself. And this other guy, he made her feel, quote, alive, like herself again.
Wow, too safe, lost herself, alive. Those are really loaded phrases. What do you think the source is suggesting there? Like safe means boring.
Maybe. Or predictable. And alive means excitement, novelty, maybe even a bit of chaos masquerading as passion. The source doesn't spell it out, but the implication seems to be that for her, stability felt like stagnation.
Right, and maybe she needed that external jolt, even if it meant leaving something good. It's more about her individual feeling than the shared life they were building. And Ryan's reaction during this.
Silence. The source just says he was silent. Taking it all in, I guess.
Hard to know what else you could say at that point.
Right. So Mia leaves. A soft goodbye, apparently. No big drama. And her parting shot, "You're too good for me."
Another classic line. Is that genuine, do you think? Or just an easy way out? Hard to tell from the source.
We don't know. But Ryan's left there. Alone. With memories and these big questions the source mentions, like, why wasn't love enough? How did her presence just vanish?
It's heavy stuff.
Yeah. And the source jumps ahead 5 years. Ryan's doing well, maybe even more successful, more structured. But he still thinks about Mia, remembers believing that love plus support meant forever.
Which brings us to the main point, the big takeaway Ryan gets from all this, which is really the title of the source, isn't it?
Exactly. Some people are just meant to be a chapter, a really important chapter, maybe, but still just a chapter, not the whole book.
Yeah, it's a powerful realization.
So, thinking about this deep dive into Ryan's story, what can you, listening, take away? Does it make you think about expectations in your own relationships? How you handle endings that don't make sense?
And how do you interpret those phrases Mia used? Too safe, alive. What do they mean in the context of relationships or maybe even your own life?
It's a stark reminder from the source, isn't it? That feeling like you're building a home together doesn't always mean it's built to last forever.
Definitely makes you think about the roles people play in our lives.
And it leaves us with this final thought straight from the source. If some people really are just chapters, how can you tell while you're still in the middle of writing the story?